Introduction to latches. Sequential switching circuits have the property that the output depends not only the present input but also the past sequence of inputs. By this, it should remember something about the history of inputs in order to produce the present output. These latches and flip-flops are commonly used in memory devices in sequential circuits which can assume one of two stable output states and which have one or more inputs that can cause the output state to change. Set reset latch. Here we are using two NOR gates. This is a simple latch and the NOR gate circuit is constructed by introducing feedback. This is indicated that inputs S R S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0. The circuit can assume a stable state with Q is equal to 0 and P is equal to 1. That means when both the inputs are 0, 0, set reset, the output for the second NOR gate is 0 and the first NOR gate becomes 1. That is the case 1. Okay, this is a stable condition of a circuit because here P is equal to 1 feeds into the second gate, forcing the output to be Q is equal to 0. Now this is feed again to the first gate, by this allowing its output to be 1. Okay, this is the first. Same as here S becomes 1, that means one of the input set value is 0 and the second input reset value is 0. Set value is 1, sorry, reset value is 0. Now this is an unstable condition, the state of the circuit, because both the inputs and the output of the second gate are 0. See here both the inputs are zeros. Okay. So by this we'll get output 0. See by the not truth table. Okay. Therefore Q will change to 1, leading to the stable state. By this S is equal to 1 and Q is 1. Suppose first initially 1 1. Now the output is P output 0. When both the inputs of this NOR 0 0, then the output is 1. This is what the set reset latch. Now we'll see the other possible cases. That is when S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0, Q becomes 1. That is here in the previous case Q is 0. Now it is changing to 1. Okay, and same as this is feed to the first NOR gate, so P becomes 0. That is when S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0, the circuit will not change the state because Q is equal to 1. It won't change the state. Feedback into the first gate causing P remains 0. Here again S is equal to R is equal to 0, but the outputs are different than those with which we started. Here outputs were changed. P is 1 and Q is 0. But in this case, changing P is 0 and Q becomes 1. Thus, the circuit has two different stable states for the given set of inputs. The same set of inputs R is equal to S is equal to 0. It is having two stable states. Now coming to S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1, Q will become 0 and P will then change back to 1. An input S is equal to 1, here when S is equal to 1 sets the output to Q is equal to 1. When S input that is equal to 0, the output is setting to 0. That means it is reset. When it is 1, output is Q1. That means it is set. Same as S is equal to 0, Q becomes 0. That means this is the reset. The circuit is commonly referred to as set reset latch, SR latch. This circuit is said to have memory because its outputs depend not only the present inputs but also the past sequence of inputs. Because here we are giving the feedback. Here a restriction that the input so that S is equal to R is equal to 1 is not allowed. The stable states of the outputs P and Q are always complements. See, when we observe here, P is 1, Q is 0. So both are complement. Same as here, P is 0, Q is 1. Both are complement. P becomes 0, Q is 1. This is also the complement output. Here P is 1 as well, Q becomes 0. This is also complement. When we take the condition R is equal to S is equal to 1, that is set is equal to reset, both are 1. So this is not allowed because it won't give complementary output. To emphasize the symmetry between the operations of the two gates, the circuit is often drawn in cross-coupled form. This is how the design: two NOR gates, reset and set, and the input for one NOR gate is given from the output of the other NOR gate. This is the cross-coupled form, and the representation of this latch is L, R, S, and the outputs Q, Q bar. This is the latch. And now we'll see S is equal to R is equal to 1. The latch will not operate properly when S is equal to R is equal to 1. That is, when S and R both are 1s, now P and Q are both becomes 0. P is equal to Q is equal to 0. Therefore, P is not an equal to the Q's complement. Actually, up to now we have seen P is equal to Q bar. But in this case, that is, if S is equal to R is equal to 1, now we'll get P is equal to Q is equal to 0. It is not a complement of the other output. So, this violates the basic rule of latch operation. This is the timing diagram of SR latch. Now, when S changes to 1 at time t1, S is changing from 0 to 1. Q changes to 1 a short time epsilon. See here, the Q here short time, this is delay of latch. After that, the Q output is changing. At a time t2, when S changes back to 0, that is, it is again changing to 0 at time t2, Q does not change. At time t3, R changes to 1. Here R is changing from 0 to 1 at time t3. Now the Q changes back to 0. Again here epsilon time later. This is again delay. The duration of the S or R input pulse must normally be at least as great as epsilon in order to change in the state of Q occur. Either in latches or flip-flops, we use the term that is present state, that is denoted with Q output. Present state is Q of t. That is at any time input signal changes. And the term next state that denotes the state of Q output after the latch or flip-flop has reacted to the input state change and stabilized. That is, it is represented with Q of t plus epsilon. Next state. An equation for Q of t plus epsilon can be obtained from the circuit by conceptually breaking the feedback loop at Q and considering Q of t as an input and Q of t plus epsilon as an output. Now the equation, that is the next state, Q of t plus epsilon is equal to RT at present state R bar as well. This is reset set of t at present time and Q of t, that is output Q at present time. Or this can be written as Q plus is equal to R bar S plus R bar Q. The output equation P becomes, now the output P of t becomes S of t bar into Q of t bar, or P is equal to S bar Q bar. These equations are mapped in the next state and output tables as given in the following table. Now we will see the table. The stable state of the latch are circled. Stable state means it is circled. Note that for all stable states, P is equal to Q except when S is equal to R is equal to 1, because it is not possible. So making that this is don't care combination, allowing simplifying the next state equation. As we have discussed up to now, okay, when S is equal to R is equal to 0, that is Q becomes 0 as well 1. When S is equal to 0, R is equal to 1, that is Q becomes 0, and when Q bar, that is 1, 0, 0. Same as when S is equal to R is equal to 1, 0, that means this is always, this is 1. By this, S is equal to R is equal to 0, Q is 0, or it may be 1. When S is equal to 1, 0, Q becomes 1, that is set. When S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1, then Q is 0. That is, now we are constructing this table, the same. Okay, when S is equal to 0, 1, S means 0, that is set 0, so Q output becomes 0. When set is equal to 1, Q becomes 1. Same as when set and reset both values are 1, it is what we have discussed is actually the output is 0. This case is not possible. This is the next state. How we can write? Same as present state output P. Same from the circuits. Now we'll note that P value. Okay. That is when S is equal to R is equal to 0, P is 1 and P is 0. Now we'll write 1, 0. Same as when S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1, that is S1 and 0. P. Same as when S is equal to 1, R is equal to 0, it is 0, 0. And for 1, 1 case, it is always 0. By this, here only one change of the two variables, that is S and R, 0, 0. Here R is changing. Already R is changed, so now changing S. Keeping S constant, changing R. Same as this K-map. Now we'll construct the K-map for Q plus. Q plus is nothing but, this is the next state. So now we'll construct the next state, that is q plus is equal to, what is the next state equation, by using K map. Now go on, take the variables S, R and output Q. S, R, Q. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1. Sorry, this is here 1, 1, 1, 0. Only one change. Yeah, 0, 1. That is S bar S. You can write it as R Q bar bar, R bar Q, R Q, or Q bar, S bar S. Now place this Q plus values in this K map. That is 0, 0, 0, 1. S0, R0 and Q0 place 0. Next S1, okay, S1 and R0 Q0, R0 Q0, that is place 1. Okay, next S0, S0, R0, SS0, R0 and Q1, 1. Next here S is 1 and Q0, that is R0 and Q is 1. S1, R0, Q1. Now place 1. And for this, actually S is equal to R is equal to 1. This condition is not allowed. So place here these two don't cares. That is 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1 don't care. Next 1, 1, 0 don't care. And remaining these two zeros. Now use the grouping technique of K map. This becomes a quad and this side pair. By this we'll get characteristic equation. We call this equation the next state of the latch in terms of its present state, and inputs will be referred to as the next state equation. This is the characteristic equation. S plus R bar Q. Because this side two variables are changing, so eliminate these two variables, will get S. And for this pair, S is changing, Q bar and R bar and Q is remaining as it is. So R bar Q. This is the characteristic equation for SR latch using NOR. This truth table can be written as SR Q plus, that is the next state. So consider the combinational values. Now write the all next state values, that is 0, 1, from this 0, 1, next 0, 0. Actually this is for 1, 1 not allowed. So here you mark it as it is inputs not allowed. And next 1, 1. This is the truth table. Now there is an alternative form of SR latch using NAND gate. Just here using NAND gate, inverting inputs are applied and we'll be getting Q bar, that is as outputs. That symbol is represented. The latch is L. Because we are applying inverted inputs, so use here bubble S R and outputs Q bar. Truth table is same as NOR. We'll get the same truth table. What are all the applications of SR latch? It is often used as an component in more complex latches and flip-flops and in asynchronous systems. And other useful application of SR latch is for debouncing switches. That is, when a mechanical switch is opened and closed, the switch contact tend to vibrate or bounce open and close several times before settling down to their final position. These are the few applications. Gated delatch. A gated delatch has two inputs, that is data input D and gate input Z. This is D and one more input is G. This can be constructed from SR latch and gates. Here AND gates, SR latch. So Q and Q bar are the inputs. Now we'll see when G is equal to 0 and S is equal to R is equal to 0. This, for this case, Q does not change. Q does not change. So always gate G should be 1. When G is equal to 1, now we'll check the conditions. That is D is equal to 1 and S is equal to 1, comma R is equal to 0. When D is equal to 1 and S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0, this means set. S is equal to 1 means set. So this works as set. Set to 1. Now same as when G is equal to 1, D is equal to 0 and S is equal to 0, R is equal to 1. That means in SR latch S is equal to 0, R is equal to 1. And now considering D is 0, S is equal to 0. This means reset. Reset to 0. In other words, we can consider as G is equal to 1, the output follows, that is output is Q, follows the D input. Always G should be 1 and when D is equal to 1, then it is output Q is 1. When D is equal to 0, output becomes 0. When G is equal to 1, the Q output that holds the last value of D, that means no state change. This type of latch is also referred to as transparent latch because when G is equal to 1, the Q output is the same as the D input. When G is equal to 0, it is holding. So it is also called as transparent latch. Now we'll see the truth table for this, and the latch is D, one input is D and other input G, Q, Q bar. Take the inputs G, D, Q is the output and Q plus is next state. We will see that for all combinational values, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 7. Okay. Now we'll see the next state, that is when G is equal to 0, that means that this latch is holding the output, Q output. So what is Q here? 0, 1, 0, 1. So the next state becomes the same, that is it is holding. When G is equal to 1, now we'll check D0, then it will be reset. What is D? The same output will be getting. And when D is equal to 1, that is set to 1. D0 means output is 0, reset. D1, output becomes 1, that is set. This is what the truth table. Now by this we'll construct K map and see the characteristic equation. Q Z D. Q bar Q. All zeros 0. Next 0 1, that is here 0 1 0, 0 1 0 is 0. Next Z D 1 1 and Q bar is 0, that means 0 and both ones this here, so place 1. Next G1 D0 Q0 1 0 0, the value is 0. Next 0 0 1 0 0 1, the value is 1 output, next state. Next 0 1 1 0 1 1, the next state is 1. Next 1 1 1, all ones, output is 1. 1 0 1 1 0 1 0. Now we can pair this and this. Q plus, that is the next state. Characteristic equation becomes from this Q, here G bar is constant, so Q G bar plus, from this Q is changing and Z. This is the characteristic equation for gated D latch. Edge triggered D flip flop. D flip flop has two inputs, that is D and clock. A small arrowhead on the flip flop, that is this is the small arrowhead on the flip flop. This symbol indicates the clock input. Unlike D latch, the flip flop output changes only in response to the clock, not on the change in D. When we apply the clock, then we'll get the output, not depending on D input. If the output can change in response to 0 to 1, that means if suppose from 0 to 1, that is clock is changing from 0 to 1, transition of clock input, we say that this flip flop is triggered on rising edge 0 to 1. If suppose the clock is from 0 to 1, then this is said to be rising edge or positive edge of a clock. Same as if the output can change in response to a 1 to 0 transition on the clock input. That is from 1 to 0 transition, 1 to 0 transition on the clock input. We say that this flip-flop is triggered on the falling edge, that is negative edge of the clock. Here an inversion symbol, okay, for this is the flip-flop. For this an inversion, that is bubble on the clock input, indicates falling edge. If suppose here we'll place bubble, okay, we'll place bubble, this represents a falling edge trigger, and no bubble, without bubble, then it indicates rising edge trigger. Okay, now we'll see the truth table. The term here active edge refers to the clock edge rising or falling. Active means it may be either rising or falling. That triggers the flip-flop state change. By this will be triggering. Okay, now we'll see the truth table, that is D input and Q output. The next state Q plus. This is active edge. That means either it is a negative edge trigger or maybe without bubble positive edge trigger. The combinational values are 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. As we know that if the input D is 0 and it is an active edge, that means either it is a positive edge or negative edge trigger. If D is 0, 0, then next state is 0, 0. When D is 1, it is set. Reset, set. Now we'll see the timing diagram for this truth table. We can consider rising edge or falling edge, any one. Now here it is considered rising edge. That means it is 0 to 1. Clock is from 0 to 1, rising edge. Since the Q output of the flip-flop, this is Q output of the flip-flop, is the same as D, except that the output changes are delayed until after the active edge of the clock pulse. That means this clock pulse, okay, after applying this clock pulse, then we are getting the output. So some little delay occur at the output Q. 1, output should be 1, little bit delay occurred. Okay, here clock. Next, when this is 0, output is 0, delayed for 1 clock cycle. Next, when it is high for 2 clock cycles, same 2 clock cycles it is high, Q is high, little bit delay. Next, it is becoming low, the output is low. Because of applying this clock pulse, there will be some delay in a circuit output. SR flip-flop. An SR flip-flop is similar to an SR latch, that is S is equal to 1. It sets the output to 1 and R is equal to 1, then it resets the Q to 0. Only one essential difference between SR latch and SR flip-flop is it is having a clock input. And the Q output can change only after an active clock edge. Maybe you can consider rising clock or falling clock edge, that is rising edge or falling edge trigger. Now we'll see the operation, that is when S is equal to or is equal to 0, that means there will be no state change. When both are same, it will be in the same state, that means holding the previous output state. Now coming to S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0, that is it is Q, output Q is set to high, that is 1, set. Q is equal to 1, set. After applying the active clock edge, only the difference is after applying the active clock edge, then only S is 0 means it sets the output Q is S is 1, then it sets the output Q is 1. Next, S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1. It resets the output, that is Q is equal to 0. Again, this is also after active clock edge. When you apply clock edge, active clock edge, then S is equal to 0. That means Q is 0. Reset. Now coming to S is equal to R is equal to 1. It is not allowed. This condition is not allowed. These two inputs, both 1 is not allowed. Truth table and the characteristic equation for SR flip-flop is same as the SR latch. But the interpretation of Q bar, that is Q plus next state, is different. For the latch, Q plus is the value of Q after the propagation delay through the latch, while the flip-flop is, that is Q plus, the next state is the value that Q assumes after the active clock edge. Only the difference is this. Truth table and the characteristic equation is same. Now we'll see the construction of SR master slave flip-flop. That is, here it is constructed by using SR latches and gates. Master slave SR flip-flop. This is constructed from two SR latches, master and slave, and gates. This flip-flop changes state after the rising edge of the clock. That means from 0 to 1. Then only it will be changing the state. The circuit is often referred to as master slave flip-flop. When clock is 0, that is when clock is 0, then S and R inputs set the output of the master. This sets the output of the master. At that time, the slave, it holds the previous value of Q. It is holding. When clock changes from 0 to 1, then P is held in the master latch and this value is transferred to slave latch. Then again clock is applied. The master latch holds the value of P while clock is 1. Hence, Q does not change. When the clock changes from now 1 to 0, Q value is latched in slave and master can process new inputs. Now we'll see the timing diagram. This is the timing diagram. Initially here, S is equal to 1 initially and Q changes to 1 at a time t1. Here it is changing to 1. Then R is equal to 1 and Q, R now it is changing to 1 and Q changes 0 to, that is it is changing 0 at t3. There is some delay because of this clock change. Here it is a clock 0 to 1 rising edge. Okay, when rising edge 0 to 1, this master is active. Okay, Now we'll be getting master output. When clock is inverted clock Q bar, that means there is a gate delay. And now there will be delay in the output. For the master slave flip flop, if the input change while clock is low, that is a flip flop output may be incorrect. For example, consider here at the time t4, S is equal to 1. Okay, that is S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0. P changes to 1. P is changing to 1. Then S changes to 0 at T5. That means at T5 it should change to 0, but P is not changing. So at T5 Q changes to 1, that is Q is changing to 1 after the rising edge of clock. Here the clock is rising 0 to 1. Then S changes to 0 at T5. Now S changes to 0 at T5. We can solve this problem if we only allow the SR inputs to change while the clock is high. When S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0, the state, that is here Q, output Q should not change. That is the actual SR flip flop. When S is equal to R is equal to 0, no state change. But in this here it is 0 0, here it is changing. Okay, this is what the problem. This is, we can solve this by clock is high. Giving the clock, when clock is high, then this problem will be solved. This is about master slave SR flip flop. JK flip flop. JK flip flop is an extended version of the SR flip flop. This has three inputs, J, K and clock. J, K and clock, that is arrowhead, clock. If you use bubble, that means this is the falling edge, rising edge, falling edge, or positive edge trigger, negative edge trigger. Here the J input corresponds to S and K input corresponds to K. K input corresponds to R, SR, same as SR. That is, if J is equal to 1, K is equal to 0, the flip-flop output is set, that is Q is equal to 1. After the active clock edge, if K is equal to 1 and J is equal to 0, that means the output Q is equal to 0. It is reset after the active edge, that is active edge clock. Unlike SR flip-flop, that is one input may be applied simultaneously to JK, that is J is equal to K is equal to 1. Actually, S is equal to R is equal to 1 is not allowed. Same as here, J is equal to K is equal to 1. Then the active edge will cause Q to change from 0 to 1 or from 1 to 0. That means changing. The next stable state and the characteristic equation for this JK flip-flop is, now we'll see the truth table and the next stable state characteristic equation by the truth table. All the combinational values for J, K, Q and Q plus the next state is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. All the combinational values. Now we'll see the output. That is when J, K, that is J 0, what is the output? That is JK 0, 0. The same outputs will be the next state. When j equal to 0 and k is equal to 1, the same S in the SR flip-flop same as the output QS. So now J is 0. So the next state becomes 0. When J is equal to 1 and K is equal to 0, now this is set. If both the values are 1, 1, okay, Q is 0 means it becomes 1. When Q is 1, Q bar next state becomes 0. Inverted outputs. For both the zeros, it will be in the same state, no change. Okay, and reset, set. Here, it will be in the inverted output. This is what about the JK truth table. By this, now we'll construct the characteristic equation. JK Q bar Q. Place the values, Q bar values. That is all zeros, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, that is 0, 1, 0, 0. Next 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, all zeros. J K bar Q bar. J K bar Q bar 1. J K K bar Q. K bar Q. Again it is 1. Now we'll group this as a pair and this as one pair by using rolling. Now Q plus, that is the characteristic equation, becomes Q plus is equal to, from this J is constant, K is changing. So J Q bar plus, from these two, K bar is constant and Q. K bar Q. This is the characteristic equation for JK flip-flop. Timing diagram for JK flip-flop. This is here. In this timing diagram, that is output Q, it is having a short time, that is after rising edge TP. This is the short time delay. It provides the JK have appropriate values. Flip-flop is changing the state a short time after the rising edge of clock pulse. Here this rising edge. It is a rising edge. Here there will be some short time. After that it will be changing the state. If J is equal to 1 and K is equal to 0, when clock is 0, Q will be here set to 1 following the rising edge. If K is equal to 1 and J is equal to 0, when clock is 0, will be set to 0 after again rising edge. This is the rising edge. Okay. Similarly, when J is equal to K is equal to, both are 1 here, Q will change state after the rising edge. Here after the rising edge, Q is changing the state. When Q is equal to 0, that is here, here it is q is equal to 0, that is j is equal to 1 and k is equal to 0 at time t1. Here j is 1, k is 0 and q is changing to 0 to 1 at a time t1. Okay, first rising clock edge. Because q is equal to 1, here q is equal to 1, j is equal to 0 and k is equal to 1 before the second rising, this is the second rising clock edge. Q changes to 0 to 1 at T2. See here at T2 Q is changing to 0. It is 1 changing to 0 because Q is equal to 0, that is J is 1 and K is 1 before the third rising clock edge. This is the third rising clock edge. That is at T3 it is again Q becomes 1. This is about the timing diagram of JK flip-flop. Now we'll see master slave JK flip-flop. Same as SR master slave flip-flop. Now we'll construct master slave JK flip-flop. This is the master slave JK flip-flop constructed using two SR flip-flops, that is two SR latches, not flip-flop, latches connected in master slave arrangement. This is the master slave arrangement and gates. This is a master latch and slave latch. This is same circuit as SR master slave flip-flop except S and R have been replaced with J and K. And Q and Q bar outputs are feeding back into the input gates. Here Q bar is feeding back the input for the first AND gate, same as here Q is for J. Q bar for J and Q for K. Because S is equal to, here S is equal to J, Q bar and clock, that is inverted clock value, because here it is used with NOT gate. When you are applying here inverted clock, once the master is working, when it is working, that is it gives the output and slave is holding the previous Q output values. When slave is active for the clock pulse, next clock pulse, now master transfers the output through these gates and now Q will be considered activated. Only one of the S or inputs of the first latch, this is the first latch, can be 1 at any given time. That means either S is 1 or some other time R should be 1. Either any one should be 1 for the first latch. If Q is equal to 0 and J is equal to 1, then S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0 regardless of the K value. Regardless of the K value, this should be S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0. That means set. If Q is equal to 1 and now K is equal to 1, then S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1 regardless with the J value. This is what only it considers Q value. Okay, that means Q bar becomes inverted value and it is applied for this AND gate. It should be becomes 1 and R becomes 0 regardless of K. Same as considering only Q value and K value. Now this S value and R value will be getting regardless of J value. This is about master slave JK flip flop. It is also called as toggle flip flop. It is having T input and clock input and output Q bar. These are frequently used in building counters. When T is equal to 1, the flip-flop changes state after the active edge of clock. When T is equal to 0, no state change. Now we'll see the truth table. Q, T, Q, Q plus. That is the next state. That is T is equal to 1. It changes the state, and T is equal to 0. No state change occur. See the next state, that is here Q plus. Right, T is equal to 0, Q 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. If T is equal to 0, there will be no state change. That is 0, 1 as it is, will get 0, 1. If T is equal to 1, now it changes the state. It is at 0, so changing the state to 1. 1 changing the state to 0. By using this, now we'll find out the characteristic equation. T bar T, Q bar Q. 0, 0, 0. Okay. T is 0, Q 1. When T is 1, Q 0. 1, 1. It is 1, 1, 0. Now the characteristic equation Q plus is equal to that is Q T bar plus Q bar T. This can be written as Q exclusive OR with T, because Q constant here, T is inverted value. Same Q is inverted value and T is changing. Okay, so we can take this Q exclusive OR T. T flip flop. Flip flops with additional inputs. Flip flop is often have additional inputs which can be used to set the flip flop to an initial state independent of the clock. Here this D flip flop, we are considering D flip flop as an example. This consists clear and preset inputs. The circle, small circle, that is the inversion symbol of these inputs indicates that the logic 0 rather than 1. If suppose you are using logic 1, no need to place bubble, that is 0. Small circle indicates the inversion symbol, that is clear and preset. These are the two additional inputs. Usually this consists of clock, D input, Q, Q bar, outputs. Additional inputs preset, clear. A small circle represents inversion of the input, that is indicates the logic 0. It requires to clear or set the flip flop. This is to clear the flip flop or set the flip flop. This type of input is often referred to as active low because a low voltage or logic 0 will activate the clear or the preset function. We'll use the notation that is CLRN or PRE preset N to indicate active, low, clear and preset inputs. Thus, logic 0 applied to clear will reset the flip flop and Q is equal to 0 when applied, that is preset N will set to the flip flop. If suppose here it is set, preset is 0, it is set. Now the Q becomes 1. These inputs override the clock and D. The clear and preset inputs override the clock and D inputs. That is 0 applied to clear will reset the flip flop regardless the D and the clock. Clear N and preset N are often referred as a asynchronous clear and preset inputs because their operation does not depend on clock. Now we'll see the truth table. Truth table, clock, don't care, is rising edge, falling edge. D, don't care, because it does not depend on clock and input, only preset clear. If both are 0 at a time, then it is not allowed. This condition is not allowed. When clear is 0, that means flip flop is cleared. That is, what is that? 1. Okay, so cleared. When preset is 1, that means it is 0. 0 applied to clear is reset. Flip flop is cleared. When 1 is applied, that means preset. It is presetting, that is set. Now consider that D is equal to 0, 1. Okay. Preset and clear both are 1. Now the same as D, 0, 1. Coming to the last condition, preset and clear 1, 1. D is don't care and this is the falling edge. So this is Q, no change. This is about additional inputs, preset and clear. Characteristic equation for SR flip-flop. As we have discussed earlier, that is S is equal to R is equal to 0, no state change. S is equal to 1, R is equal to 0, it is set to Q is equal to 1. And S is equal to 0, R is equal to 1, Q is equal to 0. Reset. S and R, both are 1, not allowed. By this, see, if both are 0, this is no change in the state. And if S is equal to 0, output is 0. And S is 1, output is set to 1. Both are 1s, it is not allowed. By this, now we'll find the characteristic equation with the help of K-map. 0, 0, 0, it is 0. 0, 0, 1. 0, 1, 0, 0. 0, 1, 1, 0. 1, 1, don't care. By this, we can form a quad and pair. Now, the characteristic equation Q plus becomes, from this pair, S is changing, R bar is constant. So, take R bar and Q. Q R bar plus quad eliminates two variables, that is Q is changing, Q eliminated, and here R is changing, eliminated. So, yes, this is the characteristic equation for SR flip-flop. Flip-flops as finite state machine. In a sequential logic circuit, the value of all memory elements at a given time defines the state of that circuit at that time. Finite state machine concept offers a better alternative to truth tables in understanding progress of sequential logic circuit with time. Finite state machine, state 0, state 1 is for SR flip-flop. By this, when S is equal to R is equal to 0, Q is in the same state, that is Q0. Next state also the same as Q. So, when S is equal to R is equal to 0, that is SR, considering SR 0 0, it is in the same state 0, as well it is in the same state 1. Next, considering S is equal to 0 or is equal to 1, that is present state 0, it is in the same state 0. When Q is 1, it is changing the state, that is 0 1, it is in the same state 0. 0 1, when Q is 1, it is changing the state to 0. It is from here Q is changing the state to 0 when SR is equal to 0 1. Same as when S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0, Q, that is in the present state, is 0, it is changing to 1. It is changing to 1 when SR is 1 0. When S is equal to 1, R is equal to 0, present state is 1 and it is in the same state 1. So, S is equal to 1 0, it is in the same state. Next, S is equal to R is equal to 1. Okay, this condition both are 1, it is not allowed in SR flip-flop. So, this is the state machine. State 0, state 1. When Q is 0, it is in the same state 0. That is D0. Next, D0, okay, Q is 1, it is changing to state 0. That is when D is equal to 0, changing from state 1 to state 0. When D is equal to 1, the present state is 0 and it is changing to the next state 1. That is when it is 1, D is 1, it is changing from state 1 to, sorry, when D is 1, it is changing from state 0 to 1. This side arrow mark. Okay, it is changing from 0 to 1. When D is 1, it is in the same state. D is 0, it is in the same state. 0, it is in the same state. Again, D is 0, it is changing from state 1 to state 0. When D is 1, it is in state 0, changing to state 1. D is 1. And when D is 1, in the same state, Q is state 1 and next state Q plus is also the same state. This is the finite state machine for D flip-flop. Finite state machine for JK flip-flop. Again, considering two states 0, 1. When j and k both are 0, 0, it will be in the same state. That is jk 0, 0, jk 0, 0, it is in the same state. jk 0, 0 is in the same state. That means loop from the particular state itself. Next, when j equal to 0 and k is equal to 1, 0 it is in 0 state. Okay, that means here again 0, 1 is in the same state. 0, 1 changing from state 1 to state 0. That is from state 1 to state 0 when j and k is 0, 1. Now when j is equal to 1 and k is equal to 0, it is changing from state 0 to state 1. It is changing from state 0 to state 1 when j and k is equal to 1, 0. Changing from 0 to 1. Same 0 to 1, it is in the same state 1. So 0, 1. Sorry, 1, 0. 1, 0. J is 1 and k 0. It is in the same state 1. When both are 1, 0 to 1 state change, same as 1 to 0. So 1, 1, it is changing from 0 to 1, same as here 1, 1, 1 to 0. This is the finite state machine for JK flip flop. Finite state machine for T flip flop. When T is 0, it will be in the same state. That is T is equal to 0. Make a loop, that is there itself. Loop. The same state. It is not changing the state. When T is equal to 1, it is changing from 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. Now T is equal to 1, changing from 0 to 1 as well from 1 to 0. This is the finite state machine for T flip-flop. In synthesis or design problem, excitation tables are very useful. Excitation table of a flip-flop is looking at its truth table in a reverse way. Here, flip-flop output is presented as a dependent function of transition q tends to qn plus 1. That is, q is present state, output and next state. There comes in the truth table. Now we'll see the excitation truth table for the flip-flops. That is q, present state output and the next state 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. We look at SR flip-flop. See the truth table SR flip-flop. From this 0, 0, that means for q and q plus 0, 0, what will be the SR inputs? S is 0 and q is changing from, SR is changing from 0 to 1. That means here use don't care and in place of S, place 0. Place 0 and don't care for R. Same as next 0, 1, that is present state 0, 1, and for this it is not allowed. So, we'll consider only 1, that is 0, 1, only this is the inputs S1 and R is 0. That is S1 R0. Same as 1 0 1 0 1 0, that means S0 R1. S0 R1. Next, both are 1 1 1. Here we'll see the 1 1 S0 R0, 1 1 S1 R0. That means S is changing from 0 to 1, okay, and R is constant 0. So place here don't care and R is 0. Don't care 0. This is the excitation table for SR flip-flop. Now we'll see D flip-flop. For 0 0, D is 0. Okay, place 0. For 0 1, D is 1. Place 1. For 1 0, D is 0. Place 0. For 1 1, D is 1. Place 1. This is for D flip-flop. Same as for JK flip-flop. 0 0. This is the first case as well the third case. J is 0 and K is changing from 0 to 1. So don't care. 0 don't care. For J, K, 0 don't care. Next for 0 1, 0 1, okay, 1 0 1 1. That means 1 is constant, here it is don't care. Place 1 don't care. 1 don't care. Next for 1 0 0 1, 1 0 1 1. That means 1 is constant and J value is changing. So J value place don't care and 1 for K. For 1 1, 0 0 1 1 1 0. That means K value is 0, J value is changing. K value is 0, J value is changing. Place don't care. Now coming to T flip-flop. Present state, next state 0 0, T is 0. 0 1, T is 1. For 1 0, T is 1. For 1 1, T is 0. This is the excitation table for all the flip-flops.